Good day. Beautiful day at that. It is a book I've been meaning to read from for quite a while by an author named Trigueirinho. Trigueirinho? Um, I, I was hoping to actually do this through StreamYard. I often forget that you have to um, create the stream through StreamYard, on StreamYard in order to stream through it. You can't create the stream on YouTube. But anyway, so I have some other books. Why is this not focusing, man? Strange how it does this every time. Um, but yeah, Beyond Karma, a book that clarifies destiny. And I do have books here by let me see, where are they at? Do have some other books by Trigueirinho. The Mystery of the Cross and the Present Planetary Transition. Still gotta read Autobiography of a Yogi. What are the other ones, though? Let me see something. Hold on. Calling. Oh, here they are. Calling Humanity. Trigueirinho tells us about the new times taking place. Very interesting spirit, very interesting individual. And I'll be honest, I actually found this author. Oh, here we go. There's Peace. Nice little short. I have a lot of look at all these Prabhupada books I have that are untouched, that I actually got at a music festival. Yeah, I'd like to definitely get into all these too. Nectar of Devotion. I haven't even touched any of this. I mean, I've read a good deal of Bhagavad Gita. Maybe not even half of the Bhagavad Gita. But, what do you guys think? Does my dad look like me? I think so. See the resemblance? Yeah, kinda. Anyway, yeah, spiritually profound material. So I'm just gonna get right into it. This is pretty spontaneous. Much love, Lady Legs, Pat, Freedom Grower, Mr. Dick Grower. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. Shout out to Guy Fawkes. We got to talk about Guy Fawkes sometime, Pat. I'd like to do a stream on who Guy Fawkes really was. Not that I claim to know, but that's the whole thing. I'd love to do a deep dive on it since, you're wearing his mask in the picture. And Anonymous is clearly controlled op, so we should definitely go into it sometime. But anyway, so I picked up on this material and this author when I was in a not so favorable place. Physically, I won't say mentally or spiritually, because it was a learning lesson, and I'm glad that I'm grateful for all the opportunity, for all the learning lessons that have come across my life. But so I'll read the back. It says, as human beings grow in consciousness, their understanding, I like to say understanding and overstanding, but their understanding of the law of karma also grows. They no longer see it as a mere instrument to compensate for past errors, but recognize it as an infallible means to fulfill the higher goal of life. They begin to notice that the law of karma is present on various levels of existence, and that it functions in different ways. And so they begin to cooperate with it intelligently. They are no longer performers of their destiny, but effective assistants of evolution. true co-creators, right? And don't mind this mess of a room. If you're wondering what all that stuff over there is, it's mostly tinctures and rocks and crystals and books. And I definitely need to clean my room. So I think maybe today I'll just read part 1. Maybe I'll change the title to part 1 and maybe do a 5-part video. We'll see how I feel. It's a kind of a short book. It's the kind of book you can read in a day. But part 1 is the law of karma. And then part 2, karma and the life of human beings. What karma teaches us, family ties in the karmic web, and restoring equilibrium and healing through karma. Part 3, liberation from karma and liberation by fulfilling broader laws. Part 4, beyond. I'm not sure why it's going in and out because I'm in my room, but I'm not even outside. And then part 5, karma and the law of the planets, ties that go beyond the ages, the karma of the evolving kingdoms on Earth, karma over the planets, and a new stage. Just for a disclaimer, I don't claim to, what's the word? I don't claim to stand by this material 100%. I'm just reading it. It's spiritually profound, and I did notice that there is a mention of Alice Bailey in this book, which obviously I'm questionable of, considering her ties to the Lucis Trust, and of course the Lucis Trust coming out of the a byproduct of the UN, as far as I'm aware. So to the reader, let me just catch up on the chat really quick. Chip off the old block you are. Yes, sir. You too, my brother. Clean your room every day. Keeps the mom away. Oh, man. Salute, high vibes and energy, everyone in the chat. Shout out to you, Lady Legs. Enjoy that wrench. Banish the trolls and the sex bots. Anyway, let's ascend. Let us imagine a pebble being thrown into the middle of a pond. As it splashes on the surface of the water, it stirs up concentric ripples. These ripples spread out in widening circles. As they do so, they cause other things to happen, in varying degrees and intensity, depending on what lies along their path. Just as a pebble cast into the water stirs up ripples, everything we do on the mental, emotional, and physical etheric levels reverberates and has a ripple effect on the surrounding universe. Even when we blink, we cause a flurry in the most distant stars. Emotional and mental actions have an even stronger effect than physical ones because the energy on the levels where they take place is less condensed and the interactions are more intense. There is no movement in the world that does not give rise to new movements. The modulating power of this mechanism that links action to reaction is called the law of cause and effect, or the law of karma. Furthermore, the consequences of a movement reflect back to its generating source in order to maintain the equilibrium of the universe. That is to say, the effects of an action return to the point of origin. This is called karmic return. Karmic return can be positive or negative, depending on the quality of the original cause and on the transformations the impulse undergoes along its course through the universe, or the multiverse. Right. In general, people have not realized this. They have not become aware of the law of karma. This is why they carelessly keep throwing pebbles into the water without giving a thought as to what will happen afterward. If we understand and overstand and understand, I'm just kind of ad-libbing there, the law of karma, we see that the events of our life that make up the pattern of our earthly destiny are not a punishment meted out by a pitiless God or a whim of mere chance, but the interaction between cause and effect. The law of karma makes it possible to restore equilibrium to the imbalances that have been generated. Understanding this encourages us to simplify our lives and to avoid the conflict we normally stir up. Although until now, this material law has been basic for the evolutionary process of the earth, human beings have always had the possibility of transcending it. This possibility is now being extended to a greater number of individuals, and the entire planet is experiencing a unique transformation. Going back to the analogy of the pebble thrown into the pond, we could say that the ripples spread mostly over the surface of the water. As the pebble sinks, the surroundings react in different ways. Likewise, the law of karma acts on the dense surface levels of existence. However, on deeper levels, we are not guided by the law of karma, but by what is known as the higher law of evolution, or by even higher aspects of the law of equilibrium. Many are now being prepared to go on to higher levels of the law of evolution, to live consciously on deeper levels of being. This is the focus of the reflections presented in this book. And as you can see, 2003. So this is 20 years ago. And reconnecting. Not sure why it keeps reconnecting like that, but anyway. So as you can see, this author is not shy to writing. A lot of books here. A lot of books. So that's one from 87. He writes books every year. I mean, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and then 2002. Looks like the last book here, Calling Humanity, which I have. There's another book that, I think it's this one right here, Winds of Spirit, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm sorry, I think it's Doorway to a Kingdom. Yeah, it's another one of those small pocket books that I don't know what happened to it. But so that was just the to the reader. I'm gonna read the introduction now. Let me catch up on the chat though. Salutes, high vibes, and energy to everyone in the chat. Much love to you, lady. And if you guys are unfamiliar, I think Lady Legs may have found me from either Ian's channel or Bro Sanchez's channel, or I can't totally remember. Good day to you, Lori. How are you doing? Salutes, Dion. Hey, Dion, the king of New Age. What's up? Yeah, speaking of, I just finished watching. I just watched Mark Passio's 2-hour video yesterday on psyops, and he did touch on New Age, and it was an interesting, informative, and very worthwhile watch. I would recommend everyone go watch it. I do have questions, of course, about his background, being that he is Jesuit educated, and therefore his heliocentrist view is definitely up for questioning. At least I do think he is a heliocentrist. Hopefully not a heliosorcerer. Still have to watch that video, Heliosorcery. It's in my Watch Later playlist. It's gained a lot of traction on YouTube, but we should call Joseph over here. Yeah, Joseph quadruple 2, indeed. What's up, unindoctrinated? I think I said that right. Unindoctrinated, yeah, I got it. All right. You've got the troll of all trolls in here. Who's the troll of all trolls? All right, I'm just gonna start reading. I don't see. Maybe it's a joke. Hold on. Okay, I put live chat on now, so now I can see all messages instead of top chat. All right, let's get into it. Introduction. This book came about as a response to the need expressed by many people to become familiar with the law of karma in order to be helped in dealing with what it implies, and above all, to learn how to transcend it. See, and this is where, I wonder if, karma has its place in that, I don't know how I feel about do as thou wilt. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. And the thought that beings can essentially escape karma and essentially live an Aleister Crowleyan type of life. Crowleyan? I just made that up, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to move forward. Although widely disseminated in many Eastern countries, the law of karma has rarely been taught in Western culture. Daily news and reports stressed by the media reveal that it is still practically unknown. Wow, my stomach is just rumbling. Haven't had anything yet, so that's probably why. Daily news and reports stressed by the media reveal that it is still practically unknown. Murders, robberies, accidents, victories, celebrations, gatherings, and rivalries. All these would be looked at differently if the law of karma were taken into account. Anyone who is familiar with karma knows that there is no such thing as coincidence, victim, culprit, or reason for bewilderment, no matter what may happen. According to the law of karma, everything grows out of what was sown in the past. Thus, we can understand that impoverishment, need, and hostility stem from former erroneous actions, whereas true abundance is the fruit of good works. One should also keep in mind that, depending on one's attitudes, negative situations can be avoided or redirected. One should also keep in mind that, depending on one's attitudes, negative situations can be avoided or redirected. Transmutation, yeah. Nevertheless, although destiny is governed by the law of karma, some circumstances cannot be attributed solely to its influence, such as the cancer suffered by Sri Ramana Maharshi. I'm trying to get this right here. Oh, all right. Well, let's be nice, everyone. Let's be nice. Sorry, not nice, because the meaning of the word nice is actually essentially not what everyone thinks it is. The meaning of the word nice is much different than a popular conception. But maybe I'll say control. Only trolls welcome on Troll Wave. Obviously, troll wieners. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny, man. Okay, we're gonna continue here. Let's be nice. Sorry, not nice. Let's be kind. Anyway, so Maharshi looks like his life was from 1879 to 1950 in India. Oh man, I really despise the fact that I am holding my phone in my hand as opposed to having it on some type of stand where it's not being radiated into my body. Anyway, I am immune to all illnesses, radiations, toxins, etc., etc. I will continue. The illnesses of certain spiritual teachers or of people on the path to holiness are outside the sphere. These ailments are often a service rendered for the sake of humanity, not a retribution for past misdeeds. In such cases, they can be offered up as the hidden and silent labor of one's physical cells, which reverberates in a beneficial and purifying way on the karma of all humanity. All the atoms that exist come from a single repository. When we incarnate, we attract a portion of these atoms to make up our cells and to form our bodies. In this way, we take on a part of the general karma of the planet's atoms. Likewise, whatever purification we carry out within ourselves is reflected on this repository when the atoms are returned at the end of an incarnation. In her writings, Saint Teresa of Avila, not to be mistaken with, well, I'm pretty sure it's not to be mistaken with Mother Teresa, or is that Mother Teresa? No, I don't know, actually. I admit I don't know. That's the same person. Saint Teresa of Avila describes how it was clear to her when some religious person under her guidance suffered an ailment for the sake of the world, or, as she would say, mortification taken on for the love of God. It was also evident when the affliction was the result of imperfections, or even of a merely circumstantial malaise. While most situations stem from reactions to past actions, some are taken on as a service to humanity. However, there are also those situations that simply occur for the greater glory of God. The latter are almost always incomprehensible to the rational mind. A typical example can be found in the biblical account of the man born blind and cured by Jesus. His blindness came about through no fault of his own or of his parents, for none of them had engendered the causes for that blindness in a past life. Now keep in mind, I've always questioned whether or not the actual physical existence of a Jesus Christ, if that's a reality. I do think it was. I do feel the ascended masters were real physical incarnations in this realm. Jesus Christ being, one of them, possibly maybe the most recent, hence why the most relevant and, prevalent in society, in culture, in the world that we're living in right now. Mahavatar Babaji apparently being his teacher, his yogi, his master, if you will. Where am I at here? His blindness came about through no fault of his own or his parents, for none of them had engendered the cause. What is meant by something that happens for the glory of God? That's a question. What is meant by something that happens for the glory of God? It is a special opportunity in which sparks from supra-physical reality. Hold on. Let me see this little note down here. Okay, no, that's not. It is a special opportunity in which sparks from superphysical reality can penetrate the material levels. Sorry, I got a little confused there. Suffering is experienced in order for this reality to bring about healing above and beyond any law of materiality, and in this way to manifest transcendent power and omniscience. Anyone who chooses to deepen silent reflection will find other meanings in events that happen in this world for the glory of God. Furthermore, there are circumstances in our lives that may not be related to the rebalancing of past deeds, or to an offering for the purification of humanity, or even to the sublime grace alluded to above. And it goes down here to say grace is the action of superphysical energies on material planes. Grace is the outward expression of something that has already taken place in the inner world. So I'll continue. These events could be leading the way to new dimensions of our being, in preparation for what will be lived in the future. The way they happen, however, does not go against the law of karma, but applies it in accordance with higher laws. We are talking about universal laws here. As has been stated, the law of karma is little studied in the West. However, even though not widespread, information about it has always been available. Those who begin to tread the spiritual path consciously will, in one way or another, get to know the law of karma in order to understand the events that destiny brings and to cooperate in transforming them. The law of karma is a basic aspect of spiritual instruction. It must be pointed out that submitting to it is merely one stage in the evolution of the human species. Once we have lived a certain stage of karma intelligently, we go on to other stages in which the soul is freed to follow broader paths not confined by the limitations of the ego. Those who understand, overstand the teachings of the law of karma will find in them important keys for a harmonious way of living. Moreover, they will get a glimpse of the path that leads to areas of consciousness in which the higher law of evolution replaces this wise material law. Many changes occur in the lives of those who take up their evolutionary process. As their consciousness expands, their lives become increasingly all-inclusive and therefore guided by more powerful and far-reaching energies. In this way, they free themselves from the limited circle of merely personal affairs in order to take an active part in the infinite work of universal creation. They are uplifted to another level of beingness. Creative energy can flow through them more freely. Everyone who is open to transformation and to the realities of supraphysical worlds is receiving help intensely. These worlds are already a part of our lives on the inner planes, and their pulsation can presently be detected in many hearts. The healing work that is carried out on subtle levels brings great harmony, purification, and elevation. Remember, pimp game. Proper instruction motivates people. Guidance applied means elevation. Shout out to Paul. In these times, human beings are able to live various stages of evolution concurrently. This indicates that new laws are present and are being implemented in the environs of our planet. Thus, now more than ever, to understand as above the law of karma is within humanity's reach. Oh, wait a minute. So I haven't even started? Unreal, man. That was just the intro. Incredible. So I was thinking, man, should I end there? It's the end of part one, but no, this is the end. This is part one. And I don't think it's that long. And so after part one, I'll ask, I'll probably ask you guys how you feel, if I should continue, if I should do a 5-part video series, and then I can make a little playlist out of it, do the intro in part one and then read part 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5 different parts. If I should just read the whole book today, I don't know how I'm really feeling right now. I don't know how you guys are feeling. Let me catch up on the chat. Hope you guys hit the like. What's up, Anarcho Yogi? Appreciate the interesting emoji there. Put on the full armor of God equals 111. I like that. I think I started the stream at 111, or I meant to. I started at 123. She was coined a saint. He was spiritually blind. It wasn't literal. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Pat. This is very, very profound material, and most people are not aware of his work. Although when I went to go search his channel, I was like, wow, he's got a very big channel, actually. If I remember correctly, it wasn't anywhere near that big the last time I checked, which I'm pretty sure wasn't much more, maybe a year ago or something, but he's got 100 and I think it was like 150 something thousand subs. So that, definitely not hidden by any means, but most of his material is in, I believe, Portuguese, because again, okay, it's not in this book, it was in the other book. Anyway, yeah, I think most of it's in Portuguese, so it's translated into many other languages and disseminated through many areas, many countries of the world, which of course, the Jesuits do operate in many countries, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Lucis Trust is tied to Jesuitism and the likes. So Alice Bailey is mentioned in one of these books, quoted. Let's focus here. There we go. Come on. All right. 33 minutes reading. All right. Yeah, exactly. Lucifer's Trust. And again, I don't claim to be, what's the word? Entirely knowledgeable on Luciferianism or anything, and I do tend to have some programmed beliefs. I keep using the word belief, the word with the lie right in the middle, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at. Let me continue. So this is part 1, karma and neutrality. You know what? I'm gonna go get some sun. Get some water while I read this. I'm just sitting in my room. Some of my pineal powder here. It's looking like a nice day. So, well, besides the artificial clouds. And this one has been MIA for almost 2 weeks now. Almost 2 weeks. And it's really weighing on me, to be honest with you. It's really weighing on me. So, yeah. If anybody's in the Cooper City, Florida area, Davie, Pembroke Pines, and happens to see this, please let us know. If you see her, any clues where she might be, anyone spotted her. Give me a minute here. I'm going to try and consume a little bit of this pineal powder, my concoction. What up, pups? What up, bro? I'm gonna put this down really quick. Get a little drink, talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, come home kitty indeed, Dion. It's really nonsense at this point. I don't know what she's doing. Give me a minute. You can stare at this leaf. Right here, you can stare at... See, and this is why I didn't want to go... This is why I wanted to break it up into multiple videos, because I like to do things like move around, eat, drink, breathe oxygen. So... BRB. BRB. Oh, here we go. That's better. Alright, BRB. But yeah, considering how many books this author has written, I definitely... he's definitely an author for the force, the spirits or forces or entities, whatever, working through this spirit, this individual, Trigueirinho. He's definitely connected to intradimensional, intraterrestrial forces that are definitely on a higher plane of existence, a higher plane of consciousness, if you will. And he does actually touch on some of those forces, those entities, those life forms, what say you, that he is personally, not person, because person's a corporate fiction, right? That he is intimately come to know himself, and he also touches on supra-physical, intra-terrestrial planetary centers, mostly referring to the ones in South America that he has the most experience with, like Miztlan, Aurora, and Urks, I believe are the names of them. And from what I've come to understand is that they're kind of like stargates, if you will, or planetary centers, I believe is the terminology that's used by him. Watermelon here, and some star fruit. I haven't had anything yet, and the best way to start the day is with the best food, which is fruit. Sometimes I think we really are frugivores, we really are fruitarians. And I think the most easily assimilated and I don't know if I want to say the most nutritionally bioavailable per se. A carnivore will argue with me all day about that, but and I'm at a point right now where I'm not vegan. I'm not even vegetarian, actually. Although this month I am trying my hardest, and I've only made a mistake once. So, and I say mistake because, I knew what I was doing. It's not like I accidentally ate the little bit of meat, chicken, I think it was. But yeah, I'm trying to do a sober vegetarianuary. Really, really aiming more so for sober veganuary. But so yeah, the sober part's been great. The no nicotine part's been great, except for it was one night that I was at my neighbor's and my friend / neighbors, and I literally broke all my things in one night. I partook in a little bit of nicotine in vape form, a little bit of meat in bird form, and what was the other thing? I didn't have any THC or anything, but I did. What was the other thing? And I had a little bit of wine. I've never really had much of, it's been a long, long time since I had any issue with really any substances for the most part, other than kind of feeling like cannabis can kind of tend to be a monkey on my shoulder sometimes, but all right, it's good enough. You're not digressing anymore. I don't even think digress was the right word there. Telling you guys. Oh, yeah, eat more fruit. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think I should just read the whole book, or I guess tell me how you feel after I finish this part 1, and get some brain food in you every day. I do admit I don't enjoy the fact that these foods are coming from a commercial source, but I wish I could go pick these. Wish they were wild, but you got to do the best you can do with what you got at the time. If anyone here grows their own food, I know Dick Grower is on that. I would love to learn. So, step outside here. Sorry for the delay. No. I don't think so. One cat missing already. Don't need more missing. But yeah, besides the geoengineering, it is a beautiful day, I would say. All right, karma and neutrality. Let's see how the view is here. I can't see anything. Into the shade a little bit. All right, perfect. RT. Ehrlich. Wow, what is up, brothers? Let me wrench him up here. Good to see you guys. So we're reading from Beyond Karma. This is part 1, the law of karma. Karma and neutrality. Yeah, exactly. I'm reading the chat here. Yes, nice means pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory, fine, or subtle. Okay, well, okay. See, I think there are multiple, there's various definitions for it, and I do, if I'm not mistaken, there is, if you can find it, I think it also can mean lame, essentially, or, I don't want to say the R word, but stunted. I don't want to say R-tarded, but stunted, if you will. Lame, impotent. I could be wrong, but I thought that was the case. I thought that was Wizard that put me onto that information, but fruit smoothie for you right now. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's get into it. Part 1, karma and neutrality. The law of cause and effect, or law of karma, can be summarized in the well-known saying, you reap what you sow. According to this law, actions, feelings, and thoughts produce effects that, sooner or later, return to those who produced them. Thus, what one experiences today determines what will happen in the future. This is why some less philosophical languages have used the word destiny to translate the Sanskrit term karma or karman. The Sanskrit term, however, includes broader meanings, such as the impulse to seek moral awakening. Because of its precision and clarity, the law of karma is extremely simple, both to understand and to take into account in our daily life. It was one of the first laws to be given to humanity. In the Bible, we can see one of its most primary aspects in the Mosaic principle, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Which if I'm not mistaken, would that be common law? If someone would like to help me out there, I mean, if that's not common law 101, then I'm greatly mistaken. Or I guess it's Hammurabi's law, right? An example of the more profound aspects can be found in the classic Bhagavad Gita, the epic written in ancient India, in which Prince Arjuna discovers the freedom that comes from acting without any attachment to the outcome of his deeds. See, that sounds like do as thou wilt to me. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that he who has abandoned all attachment to work, to the fruit of works. Looks like the chimes are going. He who has abandoned all attachment to the fruit of works is ever satisfied of soul, renounced all sense of possession. By doing actions only in the body, he does not incur sin. Content with whatever gain may come to him, lifted beyond the dualities, devoid of jealousy, equal in success and failure, he is not bound even when he acts. It says there, IV 20 to 20. That's pertaining to chapter 4, verse 20 to 22 in the Bhagavad Gita. Those who seek the spiritual path become open to manifest goodness, truth, and beauty, which are to be found within themselves and in the universe. The highest expression of the intrinsic harmony in life requires total freedom and release from all ties that bind consciousness to matter, even positive ones. For this to take place, more than good deeds are necessary to balance negative ones. Actions must be carried out with complete neutrality. In fact, to seek liberation, it is not enough to do good and thereby to sow seeds of a promising future, for this generates positive ties. Liberation comes from detachment from everything that one does, feels, or thinks. This indicates an advanced state of evolution. Although surrounding conditions stir up emotional and mental entanglement in what is going on within and around them, there are people who do strive to attain liberation. All right, this dog is... The law of karma focuses on continual progression towards harmony, especially by means of detached service to the universal good. Neutrality is the most direct way to achieve this. Those who are no longer attached to any deed, whether positive or negative, can transcend the ties that bind them to what happens and therefore can overcome bonds with the law of karma. Jesus summed this up in the injunction, to be in this world but not of this world. A spider builds its universe without getting wrapped up in it. Yet when building life on Earth, we human beings usually get involved and become attached to what we experience and create. It is as though we were locked in a room with only a tiny candle for a light. We see dimly as we go through many experiences in this beloved prison. We spin a web of personal thoughts, dreams, desires, and goals. So we go on building our lives without being able to see the true design that has long been planned for us. We get tangled up in the threads of our web. There comes a moment, however, when we, the spinner, hear a command from within, destroy your beloved web. Then we begin to detach ourselves, to let go of old ties, and to avoid building superfluous bonds. Finally, we enter the path of return to the worlds from which we, as sheer consciousness, one day departed. A law with many faces. I think I earned myself some berries. Gotta crack open some of these coconuts. Get some water and some flesh. The fruit, spit out the pit. Let's stop saying eat the meat, spit out the bones, right? Eat the fruit, spit out the pit. Some may say eat the fish, spit out the bones. I think it does say in the Bible, it's kind of, obviously on sprouted, Ezekiel, which, by the way, the best bread you can find is, to my knowledge, is Ezekiel. If you're not aware of it, you can find it in, you'd be surprised, you can find it in Walmart a lot of the time. But shout out to Good Life Foods, I think is the Good Life Foods, Good Life, something like that. But look for Ezekiel bread. The best bread you'll ever find. All sprouted, all organic, glyphosate free. They got a glyphosate free seal on it. Hey, I'm at least grateful for this. This star fruit's organic, local. So I'm not even sure these berries might be from Mexico, which I hear Mexico is allegedly fighting Monsanto right now. I'll believe it when I see it. Which, if that is true, which God willing it is, a lot of the produce. Where's that at here? Wow, that's one right there. Junwala. Let me catch up on the chat here really quick. Thanks for the wrench. Not expected at all, but greatly appreciated. Well, RT, I've seen you around, and I can't remember for sure if I've been on panel with you or not, but I've seen you on a few different channels and channel panels, and I appreciate and enjoy your contributions that I've had the grace of hearing. So anyway, I don't just give out wrenches willy-nilly. So and I am wary of the possibility of infiltrators and whatnot, and when there are infiltrators, they can go and they can have a lot of access to your channel at that point. Once they have that wrench, they can go and delete comments. And so anyway, I'm going to continue. I think I was past there, and I was on a law with many faces. A law with many faces. Oh wow, Monsanto equals 666. Yeah, well that's why I call it Monsatan. Anyway, gonna continue. I'm just trying to be my authentic self, right? I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to give off any type of righteous spiritual high ground, kind of like, anyway. This is profound material, though. To me, this is very profound material, and this is honestly not even as profound as the other book, Calling Humanity, I think it is. And yeah, and the mystery of the cross and the current planetary transition is a very interesting read too. A law with many faces. The law of karma is but one aspect, a material one, of the more all-encompassing law of equilibrium, which governs all existence. The law of equilibrium is everywhere, from the throbbing of tiny atoms to the pulsation of the stars. It is expressed in different ways and on different levels, but always guiding beings toward fulfillment. Up until now, spiritual teaching for earthly humanity has had to emphasize its more concrete expression, that is, the law of karma, because it has been one of the foremost directives for life on the surface of the planet. The law of equilibrium can be perceived on various levels, as it governs the external existence of beings and their evolution within the sphere of planetary life, in which case it is called the law of karma. As it governs the interaction of beings with the life of the solar system, in which case it is called the higher law of evolution. As it governs the interaction of beings with cosmic life, in which case it is expressed in still purer forms. The law of karma functions on the dense levels of the universes, from the minute single cell to the immense galaxies. Within humanity, the external... It is an exact perfect line. Within humanity, the external existence of those who have not yet awakened to the spiritual law is eternally governed by the material aspects of the law of karma. The extent to which this material aspect of the law of equilibrium predominates in determining the course of one's life will depend on the extent of one's involvement and ties with the world of matter, the physical, right? The law of karma is expressed in a very specific way on Earth. It almost always takes on negative characteristics because by using free will, human beings make choices based on their own needs and individual desires. Very rarely do they take into account a general need effect of the plan of evolution. Very rarely do they take into account a general need or an aspect of the plan of evolution. Sometimes I reread things to myself to really digest, Because of this, they go on engendering more karmic debit. Did he mean debts, or does that mean to be debits? Due to lack of neutrality, they keep on creating ties. For people in general, the law of karma is a tool for purification, a school in which they learn how to use their free will. Such a precise and unfailing tool is needed to provide an accurate counterbalance for actions that are very often contrary to the higher rhythms of the cosmos. While human beings blindly try to build their earthly existence, the law of karma watches over them like an infinitely wise master. While they devastate the planet for personal gain and heedlessly rush headlong into pleasure and gratification, pain and suffering prove to be the most adequate tools of the law of karma to teach them. This impressive method has been applied to human evolution ever since the beginning. Compulsory physical death and birth have always been part of this instruction of karma, because a single incarnation would never suffice to balance out so many unwise human deeds. The law of karma works basically on the mental, emotional, and physical etheric levels of life, whereas the higher law of evolution works on the intuitive and spiritual levels, and even purer forms of the law of equilibrium work on the monadic and divine levels. And as you see here, there's a chart pertaining to the levels of consciousness, starting from, well, you could start from the top, or you could go down, or you could start from the bottom and go up. So we'll start from the top and trickle down. So starting from the divine, pertaining to this terminology I have to brush up on, monadic, but the bodies and nuclei of the being. So the divine pertaining to the monadic regent, and the monadic pertaining to the monad, both referring to the law in action, the purer aspects of the law of equilibrium. And then down to the spiritual and intuitive levels of consciousness, the mental, the astral, physical, etheric levels of consciousness, mental pertaining to the abstract body and concrete mental body, astral pertaining to the astral emotional body, physical, etheric, all pertaining to the law of karma. So these are the laws in action on different levels of consciousness. Right? So, continuing. Under the law of karma, people believe that they are set apart from the universe. In this way, one either keeps on living own processes, or one adapts to the processes of others. This takes place through the various ties and links that are built progressively. By becoming attached to someone or something, one takes on the karma of the object of this attachment. When they say you are what you eat, right? You become, over time, essentially what you eat. If you eat, you will suffer. That's just how it works, right? So, I have always been kind of perplexed by the thought of humane slaughter, for instance. Looks like I cut out a little bit there. So I don't know what the last thing you guys heard was, but I'll just continue. That's why we're here, bro. You're a good man. Appreciate it. Dion. What up, Cuts? Good to see you, brother. Been a while. Brian Stavely is premiering Z Show. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I already watched. Okay, it keeps kind of going in and out, so I apologize if hopefully it hasn't gone in and out at all when I was reading. But before I continue, I just want to say if you to go check out each other's channel, sub to OTW News, check out his channel, sub to Cutso, check out his channel. Anyone else that's got content, please, guys. It's all about networking. It's all about connecting. It's all about coming together and really becoming the media, right? I don't want to say media because the meaning of the word, but it's about becoming the voice that echoes throughout the ether, right? And overpowering the propaganda that is rampant throughout the entire world. So, with that said, I will continue. On the other hand, well, let me see. Let me have some context here. By becoming attached to someone or something, one takes on the karma of the object of this attachment. On the other hand, the higher law of evolution, human beings follow... On the other hand, under the higher law of evolution, human beings follow cyclical and orderly universal movements. These movements are part of the evolution of groups of souls. Thus, the repetitive experiences characteristic of those who are living on the surface of life, symbolically represented by life on the surface of a material planet, no longer have to take place. The surface or outer face of a planet corresponds to its more peripheral consciousness. However, it also encompasses in its sphere a physical life that corresponds to its deeper consciousness, its imperishable essence. Some aspects of the law of karma are flexible. Whenever possible, destiny offers human beings altruistic tasks which are not aimed only at the material side of life. Such opportunities to develop beyond the concrete level as for all humanity. They pave the way for one of the most important steps toward liberation, the detached offering up of the result of one's own actions, and a fuller surrender of... In the present times, this kind of dispassion has special and widespread repercussion. Life on Earth should pulsate translucently and manifest one of the vibratory patterns safeguarded by the solar archetype. Solar archetype is the energy structure that present solar system. Essence and form should be unified. The human being is the link for this unification. Neither the pain that is present in human life so as to bring about the balance of karmic return, nor obscureness. These beings will become rays of shining light, announcing new times. The earth is undergoing rapid transformation, and the action of purifying forces will be intensified. Those who undertake the commitment to cooperate with this evolutionary transformation, since they realize that forms are ephemeral and that essence is indestructible. I will admit, the meaning of the word ephemeral kind of escapes me, but if I'm not mistaken, it kind of means detached or ascended, non-attachment. Someone would like to clarify that for me. So that was part one. Part two, it's in 5 different videos. What do you guys think? I mean, should I continue? Are you guys enjoying this? I mean, better yet, even if you are enjoying this, if I continue, will you guys stay here? Because I don't want to, essentially, I don't want to just read to myself, because usually when there's interaction, when there's more engagement, it just pleases the algorithm more. When someone's just reading to themselves, it not only doesn't pick up any new viewers, but it often, if I'm not mistaken, it often doesn't pick up much more viewers after posting. So what do you guys think? Should I continue, or should I kind of do a five-part series of this reading? What do you think? And if you guys don't answer, then I think I'm just gonna cut it, and maybe I could even do a part 2 later, really. So I don't see any messages coming in, and my phone is really badly, terribly cracked, so I can't see how many viewers there are, if there are any. I see the likes, but I do not see the amount of viewers. Let me see here. Nope, I can't see anything. Let me try again here. Yeah, so, I don't know if there's just no messages coming in, or there's no viewers, or the comments are glitching. Little 5-part, maybe, playlist of reading this book. Beyond Karma, a book that clarifies destiny, by Trigueirinho. With that, I bid you adieu, bid you farewell. I may very well pick this up later today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, much love. It's a beautiful day. Don't know what else to say. I appreciate you guys. Do something wonderful. Be the change you want to see. As cliche as that may sound, it's what we need to do. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Love healing light codes and blessings. Gonna get in on some coconuts. It's actually been really nice out lately. Wow, it looks like all the geoengineering kind of just disappeared, like really fast. Wow. Interesting. Wow. It is just clear now. Looks like it's flying, what would that be? Flying eastbound. Good stuff. I don't even have a chem buster over me, but maybe it was my consciousness and my reading. Maybe it was my magnetic, reverse magnetic polarity. I don't know, my reverse polarity. I don't know. It's very interesting how fast all these clouds dissipated, man. I've never seen that before. That is very interesting. All right, guys. Much love. Talk to you soon. Tune in for part 2, probably later. Time for some coconuts. All right. Much love, you guys. Sub to each other. Talk to you soon.